Hello and welcome. My name's Melody from Melody Crochet, and today's free project is going to be this adorable scrunchie. You might remember these from way back when. They hold your hair up, they're cute, stylish, give you a little bit of volume, and they're back. People are loving these. They're all over the place, and they're so easy to make. I cannot bear to see people not make their own. So, with just a little bit of a scrap of yarn and a couple items that we'll discuss in a moment, you will be beginning and ending this project. It is amazingly fast, and you can make them in little groups and gift them so easily. Let's make one together, shall we? We're going to be starting with materials. You are going to need a hook. I'm going to use the size down from my yarn ball suggestions. So seeing as I'm using Bernat Velvet, it is a bulky weight yarn that suggests a K hook. I'm going to be using a J hook. Now, the other Bernat Velvet, the Bernat Baby Velvet, is actually not bulky. It is worsted weight size 4, and they suggest an H hook, so I'd go down to a G. If you are using 2 strands of something else held together so that you can get something bulkier, which I highly suggest, it's super, super cute. But if you are, go ahead and just stick with me and do the J hook. It works up really nicely on the yarns that aren't quite as fluffy as this, because it makes up for any lacking of bulk. Like I said, I'm going to be using the Bernat Velvet, and in addition to the hook, you're also going to need scissors and a needle to snip and work in the ends, and then you need a rubber band. This is going to be really quick, but I do want to advise, we have the thicker rubber bands and the thinner rubber bands. These hold up longer and they're easier to work with. But if all you have is a thinner one, or even just a rubber one, and you just want to make a scrunchie, go to town and don't worry about your materials. Just enjoy the process. Just making and finishing things is enough to just lighten the load, especially during the holidays, and it's a great gift. Who doesn't need a scrunchie? Now, I'm going to be doing this for a beginner. So if you are a more advanced crocheter, feel free to make a slip knot and start single crocheting around the outside. But if you are new to crochet, we want to make this nice and simple. So I put the rubber band onto my yarn. I'm going to make a square knot. So just one over the other, pull through and do it again. This way it doesn't slip around too much. It doesn't have to be crazy tight, but you don't want it to actually give when you pull on it. So you want to use a square knot. Now, to get started, this is the position we're after. Don't worry about where your tail lands. We can deal with that later. But you want your working yarn to be draped over your hand in whatever type of tension that you use, but you want it over and behind, the opposite direction than your hook is coming. So then you go under, grab, pull through. Don't worry about the fact that there's only one strand on your hook. We're just going to make this into a chain. There, we have chained up one. We're in perfect standing position to replace that whole slip knot and the awkwardness of your first single crochet over something. If you're a beginner, that's a bit more advanced, so being able to skip that step, highly recommended. So 2 single crochet around this band. You're going to hopefully look like this. You have a little tension on your rubber band. You have your yarn placed and tensed over the top of your rubber band. You go under, grab, draw up a loop is what that's called. Yarn over and pull under the 2 strands on your hook. One more time, insert, draw up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2. Couple more times, nice and slow. We are going to get as many single crochets around your rubber band as you can, because all the rubber bands are going to be different lengths. They're going to have different amounts of stretch. We're using different hooks and different yarns, so don't worry about the number. I'm not even counting. This is an eyeball thing. Just get as many as you can. I'm being kind of delicate with my yarn because this Bernat Velvet yarn is beautiful, but it is a little delicate. As far as washing the scrunchies, just give it a little hand wash with some soap. Smush it between 2 or 3 layers of towel, and then lay it flat to dry. It'll dry pretty fast if it's in a room with any kind of air circulation. I'm really excited to be making gifts. My goal is to make for absolutely everybody on our list. What are you making for Christmas? Do you make everybody the same thing, or is it kind of personalized? I used to do the same thing for everybody on my list, just varying colors by their taste. But after a few years of the Etsy shop, I like some variety. I am no longer a factory maker. So let's look at what we've accomplished here. Meaning, let's fix it. We want to have all of the little V's that our crochet stitches make on the outside. So there we go. Now I'm going to look for my very first stitch. Now the first one was kind of a chain, so you might have a gap if you're not careful, but find the first loop that you can slip stitch into, insert your hook, yarn over, draw through everything on your hook, chain up at least one, maybe two, but we are going to be double crocheting. So yarn over, insert in the same loop that you just slip stitched into. We're going to count that chain as one double crochet. So this is your second one. Yarn over, insert, go back in. There's your second and counts as your third stitch. Same one. Yarn over, insert, draw up a loop, yarn over, pull under two, yarn over, pull under two. And that is 4 stitches in one. And that is what you're going to do all over in every single stitch that you just made around the scrunchie. So take a peek for it. Yarn over, insert, draw up a loop, yarn over, pull under two, yarn over, pull under two. There's a double crochet. Do 3 more in the same stitch. I feel like that was 4. Yes. Moved on to the next one. 4 in absolutely every stitch. You're going to repeat that all the way around. And I'll see you in just one moment to show you how to finish this row. There we have it, 4 stitches in each and every stitch. Made a very ruffly scrunchie, which is fabulous. We just finished this up by finding the top of the first double crochet and slip stitching into it. Yarn over, pull through to fasten off, snip, and they have a cover. Pull that loop through, take your needle, just weave in and out. I'd say 5 or 6 times. Go through and then come back. Because this is going to be stretched out a lot, you don't want it to come out. No precision is very necessary, but you definitely want to weave one way and then the other. And if you can see that first tail, I can. Go ahead and, since it's short, you insert your needle first. Come here. Ooh, I did so many it's compacted. It doesn't have to be under a ton ton of them. But insert your needle first. And then once the head of your needle is close to your tail, you feed the tail through. Yank. There you have it. You're all scrunchied up and ready to go. You can make them in all the colors and all the yarns. 2 strands held together looks really cute. And I just love them. Isn't that pretty? Okay guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Let me know what you'd like to see me make. Let me know if you have any yarns or notions you'd love to see me review. And until tomorrow, enjoy stitching. Bye!